Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Gears Pro League Split 3, day number 7. I'm Taylor Reflections Double, joined by Colin and Crow Clark, and this is an overripe banana. It's all Latin America. We've got a great series. Pittsburgh Knights versus Abuelos Isus Nietos. And Colin, I know you're ready for it because you just had 3 slices of bread stacked together.
I ain't done with that sandwich. That sandwich is still over here. I ain't done. Look,
you literally just ate. Is it only bread? That's the question.
It's bread, turkey, and cheddar. It's 8 slices of turkey, 3 slices of cheddar, and 3 slices of bread, my brother.
Production go, is that 3 slices of bread put together, bro, like a bread sandwich? Like,
hey, 3 slices of bread, 8 slices of turkey, 3 slices of cheddar, sharp cheddar, and spicy brown mustard.
That is a massive sandwich.
Hey, look,
what did you eat before the show? Because I know you were eating before the show.
I was eating out of my giant bag of M&Ms right over there.
Fair enough.
For lunch, I had leftover tacos from last night. I know.
Okay.
I had that for some lunch. For breakfast, I had 3 eggs over easy, 2 pieces of toast, 2 pancakes, a waffle, and some Captain Crunch. I like breakfast.
I need to come over to your house one day. I'm not going to lie, bro. That sounds like a good country breakfast, Colin. And I got to say,
I ain't had no grits. It would have been country.
I'm a fan of the waffle. I'm a fan of the waffle. Let's talk about our matchup. We've obviously got 2 great rosters, and Pittsburgh Knights are one of them. Raver, Dezo, Monkyz, and Fearzly. Fun fact, Colin, I have not had a chance to cast over Pittsburgh Knights with their full roster throughout all of Split 3, so tonight might be, very well be the first time I get to see that.
That tells me that every E-Days they've had a sub, and at least
every E-Days. And Pro League. And
they still won? They number one. Not one like as in win-loss.
Right.
They still number 1.
They're still number 1. And that's the scary thing about them, right? They've had a sub, Gary being one of them, well, Gary being most of them. I think during E-Days, I forget who competed with them during E-Days. But regardless, it was Aim Boot. So they had Gary, who played during Pro League because that's their official sub, and then they had Aim Boot during Emergence Days. But the point that I'm getting at is they were still highly competitive. The full roster being together, I've been so excited to watch them compete with all 4 of them because of how good they've been with subs. They're going to be extraordinary, at least in my opinion, when it comes to all 4 of them. But let's talk about the other roster before we get too deep into it. Let's talk about Abuelos and what makes them tick, what makes them special. Chavii, Addvers, Chaoz, and Solar.
I really love the way that this single unit has been made with 2 of our young guns, 2 of our older players, our elder statesmen. That's why they have the name that they have. Addvers and Chaoz really put their best foot forward and create good situations. They create very positive situations for Chavii and Solar. And I think one of the things that cannot be understated is just how good Addvers and Chaoz are at manipulating fights to their own benefit, to their team's benefit. They're 2 of the best players that have been on the block for quite some time, and they continue to allow their teammates the best possible outcomes because of their best possible plays. And by the way, this team also has our player to watch for this matchup, I believe. I think we're going to have to keep an eye on somebody over there, Taylor, and you want to tell me who that might be?
Well, you got the grandparents with their grandchildren. I think the grandparents are quite proud how the grandchildren are playing, and Chavii is one of them. And this man's stats, top 10 in all regards. For KDA, 2.26, damage per 10 minutes, 11,630, and kill participation, 28.73%. Chavii has entered into Pro League a couple of splits ago with Fire and Ice. And I gotta say, I was a bit let down. I was a bit disappointed in his performance on that roster. I definitely felt he was going to have a bigger impact, but slowly but surely, he is starting to come into his own and truly show the value that he can bring, not only in the slaying department, but just as a team member in general. He makes high impact plays, and he is somebody that you have to take note of when he's on the battlefield. So I've been very impressed and very happy that Chavii is leaving, or at least exceeding expectations as far as I'm concerned, from the very beginning when he was with that F&I roster to now on this Abuelos roster. What?
That's your boy, isn't it? That's your boy.
And it's always been.
Tell the people that's your boy right now.
Hey, Chavii is my boy. Yo, and honestly, that's why I was very let down. Because I hyped up Chavii.
We're going to have to make a picture of you like we have with me with Kenny, except yours is going to have to be like, yeah, you.
We don't even have his picture on Pro League. Wait, the man's elusive. I don't even know what he looks like.
I was about to say, yo, that sounds kind of like a Gears gamer tag. I was like, who the hell's elusive?
Elusive.
I was like, I thought
just like just in case, bro. They're teammates. You've never heard of them both?
Elusive, deadly duo. Just in case, just incredible. Come on now.
Let's take a look at our maps, or at least at first, of course, our bands into the mix. And hallelujah, we don't get a Vaskar. Pittsburgh Knight says let's not play you there, which is fair, but also interesting. Colin, when I think about Vaskar and PK, they're genuinely great on that map, even in Split 3 with Gary and with Aimboot, which I've seen them play. So Vaskar is a very strong pick for Pittsburgh Knights, but this time around they say, well, let's get maybe Training Grounds or Harbor, and to their credit, Training Grounds is also a phenomenal map for them, but there's a lot more to pick from, but just that Escalation.
Pick your poison. You want to play us on Vaskar? Cool, you're probably more used to playing Vaskar if you're any other team in the league. So we're going to ban Vaskar, and we're going to make you play us on Harbor or Training Grounds. Thanks. Have a nice day. Map 3 might be Pittsburgh Knights. I'll tell you that much right now. You look at the controls, you're probably going to see a Regency. I think you'll see a Regency. I hope you'll see a Regency. There we go. Map 2 is going to get that Ephyra execution.
Ooh.
There's the harbor. There's the harbor. You got to go down to the Boston Harbor. It's a wicked storm warning, y'all. Ritual Pittsburgh Knights. They want that thing, boy. Ooh. Yo, hey. Taylor, come on, man.
Come on. Hitting hard all of a sudden, man. That bag of M&M's caught up to him, guys. Plus the Dr. Pepper also that he had before the show. All right, Colin, he's about to start amping up. All right, until those carbs hit from the 3 pieces of bread, then he'll start slowing down a bit. But right now, he's on a sugar rush. He's on a sugar high.
It's gonna be worse.
I like this map. I like this map selection for multiple reasons, and I think for Pittsburgh Knights,
oh, thank God.
I got to be honest. Okay, well, come on. I mean, they got Harbor. They're a great Harbor team, even though Abuelos picks that. Ritual. I mean, we talk about the 2 best teams on Ritual, E United as well as Pittsburgh Knights. Ephyra execution has been phenomenal for Pittsburgh Knights there, even at times beating E United on that very map. Check out execution. It's Pittsburgh Knights' stomping ground. Regency might be the best pick for Abuelos as far as I'm concerned, and I think a map that they can, do fairly well on. So if there's a map that they're gonna have to fight for maps 2 through 5, but map 1 might be their best chance to finally strike first and strike hard.
They better come with a tank. All right, because right now, I look at this map selection. I look at this map pool. I think about the Knights finally getting to play as a singular unit for the first time in front of Taylor Reflections. Noble. I mean, they're going to put on a show. They probably circled this one. They probably heard that you were casting. They saw it on Twitter. They said, all 4 of us are playing?
Peak.
Hey, yo, we got to put on a show. We got Reflections out there tonight, baby. We better make something happen. Better make it special. And you know what, Taylor? I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I sat with this one for a long time, and I came to the conclusion I'm going to pick a LATAM team.
Yeah, you probably are.
I'm going to pick.
Who you going to go with?
You know who it is, baby. I'm going with
Abuelos, baby. Abuelos y sus Nietos is your pick, baby.
Did you just drop Crystallize again? Is that what you just did? I'm going with those animals. I love those lions, the Pittsburgh Knights.
BK all the way. I got to agree with you, Colin. I'm going Pittsburgh Knights as well. Abuelos, love the name, and Chavii is my boy. Like, bottom line, period.
Where's the picture? Get the picture.
That's just the way. I gotta hit him up. We just recently followed each other.
This is you and Chavii right now, actually, because we don't know what he looks like. He's just
I know. Who knows what he is? He's just a great guy. But but chat though. You guys gotta believe
somebody dropped the bank on Abuelos earlier. I got it's only 372 to 216. Somebody put the bank on. It was you, wasn't it? You tried to play the 5-head game.
I tell you who it was. It was Hunt. No, not Hunter, because Hunter's broke. Hunter's broke. I just want to point that out, by the way. He dropped the rack and he's completely broken channel points. They're going Pittsburgh Knights. So I actually want to open this up. And chat, let's just have a discussion.
Oh, God.
For those that did vote for Abuelos, aside from being fans of individuals, why did you vote for them against Pittsburgh Knights today? And I want to open this up because I want to see the mindset behind it and what you find to be special about that Abuelos' roster. I think there's a lot of things that work for them. I really do, but I want to know why you're backing them up, and you're obviously thinking they can beat the #1 ranked team currently in Pro League, which is Pittsburgh Knights, and all points are validated. And I would love to hear your mindset. And Colin, why would the fans go for Abuelos in this matchup?
I really wish we had kept the camera on because I was going to tell you what you were going to get if you'd asked people. Which I mean, you might be able to tell like that meme where the guy just kind of he keeps putting his hands together and he's like, well, let me tell you. Like maybe there's what I saw that I like, and then there's just nothing ever comes out. They just keep clapping their hands, trying to come up with the next point. That's what you're gonna get a lot of. Is them trying to maybe get a freak win to really pay off in the point selection. Fearzly with an early back A gets that down on a Solar. They're gonna try to rotate over, but Dezo cleans up the kill. Back A from Raver has a ton of damage. Angles out the second shot, but it down. Chaoz. He's got to be careful. Monkyz gets the stun. Watches a player slide into 4 in, 4 out. That's how you start the match if you're the Pittsburgh Knights.
And Solar, the only reason why he doesn't die is, well, because he went up top. So Solar, we'll see if he really is T1 tonight, all right, Tier 1. Hey, he's shown that he can be in the past. He's shown that he can be in the past. Can he be that today? The benefit for Abuelos, though, is from attacking the top end. There is a chance they can work their way into the hill while also simultaneously definitively controlling the spawns for the next rotation. But, I mean, Pittsburgh Knights, they see it coming, and they just immediately push into it.
Looking for another kill here. Chaoz is going to try to rotate around, try to bring 2 players off to his side of the map. He's going to be a little bit red. Tries to back A out. Won't be able to get it done. Raver sitting in the hill trying to force the spawn out and trying to force it to switch on over to point number 2. A few more seconds left in that hill, but I mean, they don't mind. They don't mind giving up, 10 points on over. It'll be 51-5 by the time they leave this first hill, and they're going to try to fight over this next spawn point. They're going to try to fight over the bottom side of the map. Shout out one time my main man Dezonide playing Gabe Diaz. Anytime you play Gabe Diaz, Sid Redburn, and Michaela, you get points in my book. If you play as the Gears Tactics characters, automatic points.
Monkyz hasn't died yet. Dezo also has not died yet. Raver could be doing a lot better. He's only died once. Now that's going to be twice. But I mean, at the end of the day, his teammates, man, are doing so well. And that was a joke, by the way. Fearzly hasn't died yet. You have 3 players on Pittsburgh Knights now fighting for P2, and they have not died yet. That's how much and how strong the start for Pittsburgh Knights has truly been.
Pittsburgh Knights continuing their reign of terror here. Dezonide to the backside of the hill. Lancer out on the right-hand side. 2 players will push in after the flashbangs, but Dezo playing the down and distance game gives himself a beautiful angle here. The shot comes through. 2 downs, 2 cleanups. More points in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights. They send Addvers back to respawn as well. 4 in, 4 out. New M-bar going over to the Pittsburgh Knights and Raver. They will be up over 100 points here in the next 10 seconds or so, and they're already rotating over to take over the close respawn.
Lava gave me his answer, said, in Chavii we trust, but I don't see that he voted for anybody. So, like, hey, fair enough, though, but if he would have voted and he had channel points, he definitely would have went with Abuelos y sus Nietos. At least that's what he's saying. 103-5. By the way, Lava, don't come in my throat for me saying that. You know I like to get crazy on broadcast sometimes, okay? 103-5. Pittsburgh Knights continue to slay out and turn up. We will see Solar go through, and he's going to take down Monkyz. I think that's Monkyz' first step, as far as I can tell. Dezo hasn't died just yet, but a 1v2 will put him into the grave, and Raver's going to send some nades flying, and he will get a connection on 2! The body shot to bring him low enough for the nade to get the chunk. I thought that hill was going to go to the way of Abuelos. Raver changes that narrative.
That's what he was waiting on. He was waiting on the misplay from Abuelos. They got a good push in through the close side respawn. You're going to see Monkyz now with a big body shot there. Gets the down. Finishes with the L trigger as well. Body shot by Raver. Has Solar sitting down. He's going to get downed out. One more player to worry about. Chaoz with a 1v1. Now 2v1. He has to try to get this kill quickly. The long-range shocker over the top will keep him coming from that backside of the spawn, but what they're simply doing is trading out these kills, but they're not making it into the hill whatsoever.
Not at all. Not at all, and it's getting pretty crazy. Solar, though, nice shot to the solar plex of Dezo will drop him and get the chunk, and ultimately will follow it up with a nice body shot onto Fearzly. Last one you got to get through is going to be Raver, and finally, Abuelos will gain some type of footing in this round, in this map number 1, but it's not going to be something that they're going to be proud of necessarily, but a start is a start, no matter which way you cut it. Abuelos ready to pounce on the next hill. Monkyz trying to lock in mid, and he's ready to pounce himself. Fresh Inbar is going to be up relatively soon. With Addvers dropping, Monkyz is now going to focus his attention onto the flank and allow Dezo inside the hill to do his thing with the Inbar. Meanwhile, Monkyz and Raver are going to try and clean up and tie up the loose ends. They do so. Dezo gets a nice shot on the Chaoz, and Fearzly is just going to push Addvers and try and take him out before he gets anywhere close.
I mean, they are really piling it on here, 138 to 26. Another couple of kills, if they come through, will just make life that much more miserable. Dezo's going to go down. Good kills here. They have a man advantage now, a two-man advantage, as a matter of fact. They're going to have one player playing the 90-degree, adding in that damage. There's the kill with the frag grenade. Sees another player pushing in, throws the flash to the backside of this L table. Won't be able to get that first shot on, so he'll go down. 3 players move into the hill sector. It'll be Addvers off of position here, bottom middle of the map. Dezo, is he going to get caught here by Addvers? Gets one shot on Addvers, go for the second. Won't be able to find that one. Full red hasn't gone down or dead just yet, and they are in a better position here to continue to hold on to this hill to try to fight back into this just little bit by little bit. That's everything they need.
And I would love to see Abuelos hold on to this because, you know, when I think about Pittsburgh Knights and just how they started, their ability to break the hill is truly fantastic. But here they go. Monkyz trying to get through alongside that of Dezo, who tried to bully out another one. Solar doing an excellent job holding his ground inside the current hill. Raver will fall, and Abuelos, an excellent defensive setup. Pittsburgh Knights, they gave it their all to go for the break, and, well, it ultimately did not happen. Abuelos, Colin, have truly stopped the bleeding quite a bit, and at this point, I gotta say they might be in the running after one more successful hill.
See what Monkyz is going to do here, trying to push against the tidal wave of defense of Abuelos and Nietos. So now they're going to get that first down, going in for the kill onto Chaoz. Now Chavii has to try to backslide into that next shot, but Dezo catches him unawares and off guard. 2 players from the Knights are going to push into the T-table. They're going to probably go for the new M-bar here. Flash grenade comes across the backside. Solar's going to be tagged up just a little bit here. Comes Dezo, flash back at him. There it is, the quick pick onto the M-bar. They're going to try to be off to the races here. They're going to get chased by at least 2 here. Dezo might go down. He's full red. And I don't believe Monkyz is close enough. They might get the kill here. M-bar in the first hand to Dezonide. He goes down, but I believe he had a chance to switch. That'll be the Nasher on the ground, but now it's 4v2 in this situation. Raver has to back up. Nades picked up in the middle of the map by Abuelos and Nietos, and they're going to be able to bring those into the next fight. First frag to the far back. Raver rolls away from it. Damage in, but not enough to get a kill. Trades back and forth. Fearzly will get one, but he'll go down to the next. Now we see Raver bouncing it down and out. Got double bounces, and Chavii with a quick revive after the kill. Last 2 players for the Pittsburgh Knights got to be aware of where their respawn and where their next possible fight is going to come from, because one player is way off of position. That's going to be Solar with the flank for Abuelos and Nietos.
87 now and growing for Abuelos. They might break the 100-point mark relatively soon. Pittsburgh Knights going for the break once again. It's going to be a 3-man push from the top end, and one by one Abuelos, they're maybe getting down, but they're able to get those team revives quite well. And Solar continues to tear it up in the individual fights. We catch him in. Addvers will try to roll up, but Dezo is going to take him down. Fearzly will also get the last elimination, and Abuelos, they do break 100, but they're still down roughly 80 points. Make that 77 to be exact. So at this point in time, New Hill's going to be coming into play. We see Solar currently set up. And for Pittsburgh Knights, not enough time to wait for that M-bar. 30 seconds, too long, so they're going to just have to full send it. But who's on the flank? Monkyz on the flank is going to take that one.
Dezo on the flank. Took down one.
It was Dezo.
Dezonide outside. Comes straight through that stairwell and gets one, but beautiful job on the recover by Abuelos and Nietos. They had one player coming from the close respawn down at the bottom to be able to kill Dezo as he sideswiped the first player at the window. Meanwhile, the 3 players inside didn't have enough comeback, didn't have enough fight back to get that secondary kill toward the backside of the couches. And now what you're going to see is another retake attempt by Pittsburgh Knights to this hill. 60 points in closing. Beautiful job cutting this lead almost, I mean, well under half now. You see what they're going to do is throw a couple of flashes, and Monkyz is going to try to find one pick here. Body shot is picture perfect for them. It settles one person down. A kill is even bigger, but just the threat of the M-bar has been there for some time. Monkyz misses another shot. That's 4 straight. Finally hits the 5th, and he has 1 shot left to deal with, but a beautiful body shot there. On the Raver gets the down, and Chavii with a back A and gets the kill on the Monkyz and settles down that hill for the final 20 points. They could very well make it 180-160.
I mean, well done from Abuelos, Colin, with the deficit that they had and just the abysmal start that was at the beginning of this map. I mean, you got to give credit to Abuelos for fighting back and bringing it back to the start at Roses where it all started. And, I mean, Abuelos are within striking distance of retaking the lead once again. It's teetering on that knife's edge. It can still shift towards the way of Pittsburgh Knights, but it seems as if now they've got their feet underneath them and they are working better as a team. And that was something that, you know, I asked chat, why did you go with Abuelos? And a lot of players mentioned, you know, Chavii specifically, but also more importantly, all-encompassing that teamwork from Abuelos, and that's kind of why they backed them up. And we're starting to see glimpses of that. Solar, who has done such an excellent job in clutch moments, puts himself in a rock and a hard place, and he will die in that moment, and so will Chavii. So for Pittsburgh Knights, even though that first beginning portion of Roses, the transition over to P1 once again was a bit choppy, they still do get control, and they'll be the first team to break 200.
Looking to try to continue to count up points, because what they're going to look here is multiple players pushing back in from the left-hand side. I like that Pittsburgh Knights had dropped one player all the way back on that right-hand side to ensure the far respawn out from the side of Abuelos Nietos. Now they're going to be able to put different players into the defensive stand. Flash grenades go out toward the backside. Monkyz gets a second flash dropped at his feet. He bounces around as much as he can not to give up the positioning. Raver here at the 90 degree trying to do everything he can to give his teammates some extra damaging shots coming from the middle doors. Dezo on the up bay gets it down. It's a double down there in the middle, but the kills are not coming through. Knights will lose the final portion of that hill. 40-point differential if they were to bleed that one dry going into the next one.
They get good spawn. They get good spawn, though, so this could be a benefit on their part. And that was because Monkyz was, you know, just bunkering down and just holding on to spawn control in the background. Raver's also inside the hill. Fearzly is down, but Monkyz going to be there for the pickup. And what looks so good for the team of Abuelos might shift back into the hands of Pittsburgh Knights last second, much like on Rosen just a little bit earlier. But Abuelos does find real estate in the hill, but they're not satisfied with that call-in. They're going to try and push out and get definitive spawn control so they're not consistently dealing with Pittsburgh Knights off the respawn. And I got to say, they have effectively done that. But now they have to re-clear the hill. Dezo, Raver pushing through, forcing Addvers back. He's going to drop momentarily. Solo's going to get the pickup, but I do believe Abuelos might get pincered in between a lot of PK members. But no, they start the one-by-one fall away. Raver trying to be the hero. He'll pick up two, but the job's not done. Great shot on the Chavii, and that's going to be a down as well. Raver single-handedly for Pittsburgh Knights controlling the hill. Sheesh, my man Raver. Oh my God, that's 4 in a row. Somebody stop him. 2 roadie straight kills, followed by the shot over the top, then the back A to get the down, the cleanup, and then up A's after the back A to get that 4th. Dezonide tries to go super wide. Raver trying to rotate out to help his teammates here. They're going to leave the hill. He's not done.
He's not. No, he ain't. Not in any way, shape, form, and
fashion. It has to be.
Yeah, it
has to be the play of the day.
Call for it, Taylor. Tell him.
Has to be the eSwap X Pro Controller play of the day. I mean, there is no other play.
You listening?
I mean, come on. Raver is still alive. I am so blown away.
Clean him out.
He might not get it.
You're so good.
We've seen some great plays earlier from KCP. I just want to make that very clear. But Raver is still alive. I mean, this is one long highlight clip. You don't even need edits. You don't even need star wipes and star transitions. Raver is your transition. Raver is your amazing.
You just lost me. I was right there with you. So you started talking about.
Hey, look, I'm a bit 90s.
I don't even know what that is. It could have been anything. I'll tell you what, though. It is a play of the day, without a doubt, candidate. Raver's going to push up here. He's got M-bar in hand, 6 shots. They're going to give him the M-bar because they were like, look, Monkyz didn't hit but 2 shots. Maybe you hit one more than one. How about you do that for us as we try to break into the close respawn? Pittsburgh Knights up over 260 points now. Ooh, that misroll could have costed him, but the nade doesn't get any kills either. And still revving up that M-bar, won't be able to find anything. I mean, it's more of just a threat at this point. They're going to get the revive. Yo, tell him. Hit him with it.
Raver's Nasher is the paintbrush. Regency is his canvas. Abuelos is his paint. Raver is god-dang Picasso at this point, bro.
Oh, see, I was going to hit you with this. Raver now is going to put a little sky blue right here and just make a happy little skyline up here.
Oh, Bob Ross, hit it with it.
Oh, yeah.
Please, now we bring those happy vibes.
With the M-bar out, he's gonna use a little bit of what I like to call swarm red. And he's going to put a little blood and gore and guts all over the stairwell. But he's going to miss a couple shots. So back to the old trusty, rusty, dusty Nasher. Monkyz, though, getting a three-piece of his own, absolutely picture perfect, adding to a landscape that you can really only get when you got the best players in Gears Esports playing on a map that you know they love in Regency, and that's going to be it. Pittsburgh Knights 300 to 184 on the back of Raver being possibly a human highlight. He might not even be made of human anymore. He might just be highlight reel film, sitting in a beautiful gaming chair, holding what could only be described as an instrument of death for Abuelos as his Nietos, his controller.
Oh, one left. One left.
Oh my goodness. Hey, yo.
I would too. I can't blame him. What can you say? I'm not even mad. I'm gonna be real with you.
They're resetting the lobby. He said, I'm resetting it. I'm resetting it. It's our host. It's our host.
I am genuinely not even upset. Like,
and even if it's not at their host, he's like, what do you mean he's not our host? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I thought it was our host. I thought it was our, you play that off. You live that now. All right. You left early. You got to live that now.
Raver, you're so good. Like, I don't even know, bro. Like, that was just great. I mean, Raver, where does he finish, man? 18 and 11, 24,000 damage done.
He finished right about here, and everybody else finished right about here. And Abuelos and sus Nietos, they was down here. That's where they finished.
Bro.
That's where they finished.
My guy is just, he's an artist. I mean, that's just the best way to put it.
Without
best
a doubt.
Way to put it.
Yo, just make it all Raver. Can this package just be all Raver?
Fearzly, I love you. You're wonderful. Solar made some great play. This is it. Just and it never stops. Raver on your screen, slow mo. Okay, we got to give him with the slow mo. Sometimes the human eye isn't enough to really read and process what Raver is doing at times. Look at this two-piece. I mean, just it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Woo. Did I do that right, by the way, Taylor? Did I do the sheesh right? Was that okay?
Oh, it was perfect. Spot on.
Good. I just want to make sure, you know, sometimes I do stuff and I'm like, well, I'm too old for that. Shouldn't have tried.
No, I'm right up there with you. We're about the same age. I think we really are almost the same age.
I think I got a couple years on you, young man. I think I got a couple years on you.
Young man.
Young man.
Okay. Well, either way, Raver is just, I mean, here it is. This was, I don't even know if this was a start, the middle portion, that's 2. I'm not even going to count because I don't have that many fingers and toes to count how many kills that he just got right there. I mean, it was just so egregiously rude what he just did to Abuelos. It just was. Bro, Pittsburgh Knights.
It was crazy how much Abuelos was coming back into that fight. Like
it was. It was impressive. It was.
They were putting their best foot forward, and Raver was like, let me step on these toes real quick. Hold on, let me step on these toes.
No, you're right. Abuelos was coming back in like good fashion. I was getting pumped up because, you know, Solar truly started making those big key plays. Like he was hitting the shots he needed to hit. And Chavii, we talk about his slaying capabilities and we looked at his stats, which is great. And he did stay true to the damage per 10 minutes. He finishes off with nearly 17,000 damage, which was great. For his roster, Pittsburgh Knights was, I mean, everybody was above that. I mean, everybody. Deza was the lowest at 17,682. But with that being said, there was a glimmer of hope where I genuinely thought Abuelos was going to get back in it and make it competitive. I think we saw one lead change, only one.
It was Abuelos' perspective. I was going to say, I think it was like the closest they got after P4 was a 40-point differential.
Yeah.
And it was just like, holy mother of all things purple, Raver has gone nuts.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it was just, but I mean, Raver aside, even look at the beginning. And granted, Abuelos comes back. But Pittsburgh Knights had 3 members who didn't die until the 3rd hill. That's how strong of a start PK had. And that is genuinely impressive. And then you couple that with Raver doing what he just did. I mean, it was, you don't see that often, right? You really don't. But we saw it here. And first time watching these 4 compete in split 3, it's a beautiful sight. It really is. And it shows to me why they are in first place, even with playing with subs. Pittsburgh Knights understands, I'm going to make this deep. How deep you want me to go with this?
As the abyss.
I'm going to make it deeper than the Marianas Trench then, all right? Deeper than your stomach after 3 pieces of bread, 8 pieces of turkey, and 4 pieces of cheese dipped in butter, all right? this Pittsburgh Knights roster knows Latin America, our time is running short. We haven't won a major in Gears history. Identis has the crown.
Where you going to go with that?
I have to.
That's where you going with that? Oh.
I have to. So Pittsburgh Knights knows. Colin, I have to. So Pittsburgh Knights knows we got to play with all our heart. All right? And we got to make it happen. And they're looking to make it happen. And it's so nice to see them play as well as they just did. That's it.
I'm not going to rain on your parade. I'm just going to let you have that. Beautiful sentiment.
I want you to rain. Rain on my parade. That's fine. Do it. Send it.
3 letters, 3 words. Kansas City Pioneers. KCP. Until anyone knocks them off. Until anyone knocks them off. I can't have faith.
And that's law.
I can't.
That's law.
There might be love. I might want more than you could, like, I don't think chat even understands. I would, God, if I could give him superpowers and see Dezonide hoist a trophy. I want Dezo to hoist a trophy sometimes more than I want to breathe.
Or second places, right?
I want him. I don't even care about the second places. If you could see the way this man treats his family, his friends, his fans, he's just such a good human being, and then he's that goddamn good at the video game. I'm like, he's gonna get one. He keeps getting to the door. I want Dezo to hold one up so friggin' bad that it hurts me deep down inside. But then the realist in me comes out. The Paul Heyman comes out, the guy that I emulate when I go on my tirades about how Kansas City Pioneers are the reigning, defending, undisputed champions of the world. And it just hurts because I'm like, somebody's got to beat him first. If you can't beat, like, think about how many of us said, no, they're not winning this one. No, they're not winning this one. And then Saturday it was like, yo, they're about to go to winners finals? Like, we were all like, what?
Right.
Sunday morning, we were like, no shot they're making it to grand finals with a 1-map lead. And then all of a sudden, it's like 3.5 hours later, it's like, yo, they got a 1-map lead.
Bro, I'm going to stand, like, things, it's the same thing with Noble, with that Toady roster, right? That Noble roster. If they would have made it to grand finals through winners, if any Latin American team makes it to grand finals through winners, I mean, that would be first off, that would be the first time in history that's ever happened in Gears. And then on top of that, you would and I think I'm right on that, Colin. I think I'm right. Because that was one of the narratives I had during the Winter Major, was this will be the first time in history. But with that being said, then you also have that 1-map advantage. I think that truly, genuinely, like, that would be what Latin America needs. But they always fall a bit short. Anyways, it's not major time. I'm sorry. I know that's always like a discussion in chat.
No, I understand why you want to go with that, and I understand why. No, because it's a narrative. It's something that you and I, as commentators, as somebody that constantly look at these storylines and try to figure out how they weave in and out of these players and these performances and these matches, it's always right there. So I can't fault you or blame you for looking at that or feeling that. It just always comes back to, like, somebody has to beat them first. I mean, it's just a crazy notion.
Someone has to beat KCP.
Somebody has to beat KCP first. Because, like, that's why I know we joke about it. Like, you and I are joking about it. And I know
that's a fact. No, that's 100%
jokes
fact.
with me about it, where it's like, I'm picking him in every match. I don't care if, like, Handles texts me a picture of his hand and he's missing 4 fingers and all he's got is his 1 thumb. I'm like, one Handles thumb might get him through it. I'm picking the Pioneers. Like,
bro, I don't know. I'm pushing it.
No, like, I mean, it might be pushing it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm picking them. I'm picking them. Right here, the Knights, they're doing what I want them to do, and that's being able to take care of business. I talk about it week in and week out. I'm one of those guys that wants to see the best possible performances out of everybody. Take care of business, Knights. Continue on this road. Continue on this path.
All right. Well, we went down the soap opera. We really did. And now let's bring it back down to reality. It's map number 2. We're going to Ephyra Execution. Pittsburgh Knights picked this map for a reason, and it's because they play it so incredibly well. At one point, E United, they were by far between the best Ephyra team, and even now, they've kind of reclaimed that throne. But Pittsburgh Knights, you know, honestly, I could say they're probably one of the best teams on Ephyra because they play it so well. And the way that they collapse in the hotel fight with Monkyz is special. So you got to give credit to PK here and give them the added edge. Now, Solar and Chavii in hotel, that makes me excited because both of those guys are just so good at what they do. But right now, it's stalemated a bit too long, and I felt there was an opportunity to rotate down and maybe assist that Torque Bow fight, but it's going to be a bloodbath with that question. Raver's going to end up falling. PK is going to have the man advantage, but only for a little bit. Now it's going to be traded to a 2v2. Dezo's going to be rotating in. He's now going to be in a 1v2. A chance maybe to, isolate one or the other, but eventually, he's going to get pincered. He should fall here, but gets away just in time, but he can't reset enough. And round number 1 is going to go to the wave of Abuelos.
He was hoping for that back A to land a lot harder than it did. One of the things you saw right there where he L-triggered that back A over the top of that cover, if that hits 4 or 5 pellets, that up A might be able to net him the down, and then he gets to take that shot, that chance that we all love to see where somebody tries to get the kill on the quick reviving player and then try to finish off the secondary player that has been revived. Coming into round 2, I'll be curious to see what the Knights do as a counter for this first round matchup that we saw out of the side of Abuelos Jesus Nietos. One of the things that the Knights need to do is be better about their initials, be better about being able to stop players from getting momentum against them in this map. You're going to see shots coming out left, right, and center. First down comes out. The kill on Fearzly's there, and Dezo has the torque, but I mean, if Monkyz gets this double down right here, somebody going to be there in time to get the revive off, or is there going to be a drop shot in the area?
Oh, this could be bad. Oh, drop shot! Yo, you called it! Chavii sends it flying. Dezo dead. Pittsburgh Knights only 2 members to work with. Up close and personal, no worries, and Chavii gets to clean up. What a round from Chavii that was.
Chavii did a fantastic job. I knew that drop shot might come into play. It might be the new thing that they might be able to get a couple of kills with as that reviving player might be able to come out with. Dezonide, though, this is in the first round. That was, hey, my map, yo, well, I was about to say, yeah, here we go. This is what we're looking for. This is what, there we go. That's it. That's a guaranteed 1, almost 2, and then he rotates it for the secondary kill. It could have been a 3-piece. If they were just 1 step quicker, that could have easily been a 3-piece for that drop shot. So that's what they needed to be worried about, but it ended up not costing them but so much. They were able to rotate it around and get into that position even better. So shouts out to Abuelos Jesus Nietos. They're taking it to the Knights right now in map number 2. 3v3. Kills coming through left, right, and center. We're switching the camera around, trying to find the next fight that's coming down. Monkyz will pick up the torque bow. It'll be Monkyz and Dezo versus Solar, Chavii, and Addvers. And with Chavii picking up that drop shot, it'll be tough sledding as you have 2 rockets, and an active drop shot is basically an insta-give if you get it in the area.
Sends it flying, but misses Addvers just by a hair, so it's going to have to go for round number 2 eventually. Drop shot in Chavii's hand once again. He still has 2 rockets in his pocket, so he can go ahead and take his time. Monkyz takes a pause for the cause, trying to find out where his bearings are at. But in the meantime, though, for Abuelos, no rush. They're going to stay where they are, stay hidden, and they're going to go for the surprise attack whenever they see it fit.
Chavii is just going to hold on to that drop. I mean, I love that out of him. It's going to force one player to play up toward the overtime hill. You're going to be able to get that quick pick onto him, and Torquebow player won't be able to pressure you the way that you might want to. So now they're going to be able to look what they can do with this. Both players pushing over. Solar's going to get called out inside of that mechanic shop. Shock will block Monkyz off. There's the down onto Solar. Is he going to go for the pick here? Drop shot, though, gets the kill, and that's what he was looking for. Now can he find another pick because they know that he's on this ledge. Addvers almost gets hit with the up A. Enemy contact. Now he's got 1 bolt to play with.
And Chavii has 1 more rocket as well. Active is in. Monkyz will transfer. This should be a pretty easy kill from Chavii's perspective. I mean, he is holding on tight. He doesn't use it yet. Finally, he will send it flying. And honestly, at that point, kind of playing with your food. But either way, it was a good hold, and that's going to be a great win. I mean, 3-0 lead. I mean, Abuelos is playing this so incredibly well. And I mean, Chavii with the drop shot. But even with his Nasher, he's 6-1, Colin.
I mean, they are not giving up the middle hotel. This map really boils down to that middle hotel, getting it the ability to rotate for your teammates. And with the way that they have played it, the way that Abuelos Jesus Nietos has played it, has really given them an opportunity to dictate the pacing and dictating the geographic placing that those fights are going to take. Another couple of shots are coming out earlier in this one. Picked by Raver onto the drop. Meanwhile, they're going to have the torque bow in the hands of Chaoz. So switch up of the power weapons here for both teams. Let's see if it pays off for the Knights finally.
We'll find out. I mean, they change it up, and I like that. You got to change it if it's not working, and it was not working. I see a long-range drop shot. That's going to be one out of the way. Oh, no! Chaoz. What a shot that was for, at this point, Abuelos. I mean, sitting pretty. And by the way, we didn't even bring that to the conversation, but Chaoz playing opposite of PK, right? I mean, maybe a little bit personal from his perspective, getting third place in a major and then getting dropped, but it's going to be a 3v2. And at this point in time, Monkyz, he's got to even up the odds. He's desperately looking to do so alongside that of Fearzly. He'll double back onto Chavii. Can't close the gap in time, though. Fearzly maybe get a shot, but unfortunately, that's going to be all she wrote. And another round goes to the way of Abuelos.
Abuelos Jesus Nietos has played this really well, and I think this is going to be even better for the future of a lot of teams around the league, because you see how Abuelos Jesus Nietos wants to play this map. You see what they're capable of. That's a beautiful pick with that torque bow, by the way. But this is one of those things where they're playing this extraordinarily well. Are they giving away too much of their hand? Are they tipping their hand off to the Knights? Are Knights going to be able to use this as VOD going forward? I mean, these are all things that you got to be concerned with, because they're kind of learning how they want to play this map. Smokes are out in the middle of the map. Solar is going to get flashed out twice. Misroll from Monkyz. Oh, they need to be able to find a kill to be able to answer back now, because that misroll could cost them another round.
Oh, man. Well, Chavii last alive now, and this is the time where he's really got to pull up, but unfortunately, he's not going to be able to, and Monkyz will get bailed out from that misroll. Pittsburgh Knights will finally win one round in round number 5 to bring it 4-1, but still so much work to be done. And even that round was chaotic, and Pittsburgh Knights didn't necessarily control it till the very end. So, I mean, more work is an understatement.
Oh, without a doubt. Still down 3 rounds. Can they get 3 in a row here, trying to make life a little bit harder on Abuelos Jesus Nietos? They're going to be rolling off into that mid-hotel. Once again, a 2-2 with a 1-1 split on either side outside the porch and that torque bow. Flashes are going to go out. Solar's going to go down. Will they rotate? Now that they get the down, I'm surprised they didn't rotate a player down to ensure the 2v1 at the bottom side of the map. They get another down on the Solar. They get both downs in the middle, but Chaoz will win the torque bow momentarily, and I believe they have the extra flank. No, they don't. Instead, it is going to be Chaoz all by himself with the torque bow to try to get 3 kills against the Knights.
Not going to be easy. Not at all. Torque bow is a little bit of silver lining, but not by much. And you also have Monkyz with the drop shot too. So this is going to be a very difficult task. Chaoz has all the time in the world. Ephyra is unique in the respect where one player can stay alive for a lot longer because just how big it is and how much coverage there is. Not much there. Monkyz going to see Chaoz immediately and take him down without any chance of getting a connection with the torch. So there it is. 2 in a row. Pittsburgh Knights are waking up.
Pittsburgh Knights, they're looking to continue on their path of destruction here as they get 2 rounds in a row. Would love to see if they were able to get this 3rd round, how they do it, if they go through the middle of the map yet again with the extra flashbang grenade. Just taking a look here at the middle as everybody rolls out of spawn. It looks like we're going to continue to see the same MO from both squads. The 1-2-1 split across the map. Raver with the hop over in the windowsill. Smoke out now, a flashbang. They get the mark on the Raver, so Chaoz has to know he's getting pressed here. He's getting double pressed. He's going to get Lancered out. Beautiful double Lancer there to get that down. They're going to try to answer back on the outside, though. Fearzly full red. Monkyz is just trying to save him in this situation, but Fearzly has to rotate off himself. Pittsburgh Knights will have the torque bow. Quick little active out. Dezo with another shot. Won't find any splash damage. Continuing to pressure his object in his situation, but he has a bodyguard, and that is a picture-perfect round again. This is round 7. Drop shot in. Won't be able to find anybody, but now the downs are, I mean, they're there. They're through. That's it. That's 4-3. Knights, they're right back into this, Taylor.
They are. They are. And the good thing about this is it's interesting. You know, it's one thing to watch Pittsburgh Knights dominate like they did in map number 1. It's another to see them down 4-0 and then see them start coming back. And that showcases that Pittsburgh Knights are able to adjust on the fly and really use their smarts, which obviously they have plenty of that. So at this point for Pittsburgh Knights, kind of have Abuelos on the rope despite it being 4-3. This is an important round for Abuelos to get to be up on map point. I mean, this is such a big map for them to take. We knew they were going to have to still maps 2 through 5, and this is one that they could very well do so. And what a perfect start it seems, and a perfect ending a much needed round that Abuelos is able to get. That puts them up 5-3 on that point.
And that's a really good call by you, Taylor. That round is everything to Abuelos Jesus Nietos. With the way these last couple of rounds have gone, and it seems like they haven't been able to get anything in their favor, getting that round, putting them on match point here in map number 2 could very well mean the world to them. So we'll see if they can settle this one out here. Next round underway, everybody rolling off a spawn. Meanwhile, a big fight will break out in the hotel one final time, possibly, if the Knights don't come away with a victory here.
Solar pushing up through the smoke confidently. Raver, though, will sniff him out and take him down. Big first blood. You get Solar out of there. I mean, it's got to help you tremendously. And it also pumps the brakes on Abuelos, who at this point have to play very accordingly. Chavii also down. Fearzly gets the finish. Doubles back. Can't get Addvers, but man advantage still in the hands of PK, but quickly traded out. Addvers will take down Monkyz, and Addvers is going to be by himself in a 1v2. He does have one isolated by himself, but just as quick, he is going to be joined and put down. Pittsburgh Knights refusing to lose in round 9.
2 rounds of perfection is what the Pittsburgh Knights need if they want to win this map 2 and go up 2-0. They are going to have some tough sledding ahead of them, though, because Abuelos Jesus Nietos, every time it seems like they've needed an answer, they have gotten an answer. Coming into this round, rolling off a spawn, the pressure is going to be completely on the side of Abuelos Jesus Nietos, because you do not want to go down 2-0 in this matchup. You do not want to have to fight back from that kind of hole through 3 straight maps. Here comes the Lancer Fire early. Flashes are going to come out. Solar goes down to the double Lancer, picking the kill after the up A. Now Chaoz has to try to play defense himself down the bottom.
Nice
Fearzly
kill.
finds another kill. And Taylor, we're going to a round 11.
Yeah, we are. Pittsburgh Knights refusing to die, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, back against the wall. They're down. Abuelos, a map point. They win the round they needed to put themselves a map point, but then they start losing the round shortly after. That's going to be 2 in a row, and, well, being a big 2 in a row for PK. And at this point now, round 11, nobody has the advantage, okay? Pittsburgh Knights have the momentum, sure, after winning 2 rounds in a row, but now it comes down to who has the composure and who truly wants it more. Abuelos, they've been rocking that hotel fight because they've been aggressive. They've been taking the fight to them. Do they have the nerve to do that in round 11 and put it all on the line? We're about to find out.
Uno mas for both of these teams. One last round to fight over. Double Lancer onto Raver. He's going to go down. Beautiful rotation in. And now he tries to catch one player. Up bang around the corner. He misses that. Dezonide's going to be pressured by 2. He's going to be full red. Drops a flash at his feet. He's trying to roll back. He's full red. Can he find a kill here? Rhodey strafe in. Won't be able to find anybody. Last player alive is Dezo. He's down. He's dead. Abuelos Jesus Nietos. They tie it up 1-1 in round 11. They win it 6-5. Taylor, what an amazing map number 2.
Incredible map number 2, Chavii MVP, and I question Abuelos, round 11, would they have the nerve to go in full send in a hotel like they had done so many times previously to find success? And they absolutely did. Well done. Under the pressure, they end up coming out as a diamond. Map number 3 is going to be Harbor Escalation. We're taking a break. When we come back, the series will continue. Welcome back, everybody, to our second series in Gears Pro League Split 3, Day 7. We saw a nice Ephyra execution. I mean, it goes to round 11. Abuelos, they hold on tight. The composure is there, and they win it. And they steal that map away. Well, I shouldn't say steal. I mean, they played this map incredibly well, Colin.
Yeah, they didn't steal it necessarily. They did play it extraordinarily well. The thing that I'm most impressed with, honestly, is just how intense this came down to the wire. I mean, you saw the Knights fight back at any given point in time. Abuelos Jesus Nietos could have, given it up, so to say. They could have, bowed out, said, you know what, they're coming back on us. But 2 must-win rounds for them. 1 to get it to map point, and then 1 to actually get the win on the map. The 2 biggest rounds they had to win, and they get both of them. That's the thing that impresses me. That's what I take away from it. I really do believe that is the most important factor out from the side of Abuelos Jesus Nietos, is when they had to have it, they got it done.
They definitely did. Chavii played so incredibly well. I mean, his drop shots were fantastic. He finishes off 11 and 6, 12k damage, and such a deciding factor. Dezo in this last 1v2. If he gets a trade on Chaoz, it still wouldn't have amounted to much. Abuelos with that double Lancer down inside hotel was beautiful, and really gave them the momentum and that start they needed in that round 11. But Harbor Escalation coming up. This is going to be a very difficult map. As far as I'm concerned, from Abuelos' perspective, Pittsburgh Knights have always been great on Harbor, and they're very familiar. You're dealing with, 4 distinct veterans on this very roster. So for Abuelos, it's going to be tough sledding as far as I'm concerned from not only Harbor Escalation, but also Ritual Control, the stomping ground, the best map for Control when it comes to PK.
These next 2 maps are going to be tough sledding for Abuelos Jesus Nietos, especially going into this map 3 with how good we know Raver is at that mid-winch fight. Coming into that mid-winch against a player like Raver with the backup of guys like Monkyz and Dezonide. I mean, you're going to probably have Fearzly playing the 1v1. He's Mr. Consistent. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's going to play whatever damage advantage he has, and he's going to play up on you if he gets one or if he feels like he has one, especially if that winch might start going or tipping in one side or the other. You know Fearzly understands whether he's got to play up or play back. That 1v is going to be very a dangerous spot for the side of Abuelos Jesus Nietos. Meanwhile, that winch fight, it's ever lurking. It's going to be hard round in and round out. I'll be curious to see if that right-hand advantage spawn comes into factor for both of these teams. If we have it back and forth, if maybe we have a stalemate on that side of the map because of it, if a long shot goes down to the top winch, the top stern area, or if we get something in the very middle of the map, try to change the momentum, send it to that center lane, make the eyes go toward the middle of the map, and then maybe try a few sneaky plays here or there. Harbor's a very interesting escalation map. It's got a lot of different angles and a ton of different fights you can take.
And the benefit for Harbor is how quick the rounds can end. Obviously, if you're on the receiving end, that it's tough to see. But for Abuelos, who might want to finish off rounds very quickly, it could work out in their favor. I think their teamwork is great, but how are they going to fare on the winch fight? Well, after seeing their explosiveness on Ephyra and the way that they handled that fight in Hotel and just how quick they were to just finish it off, and some rounds are very quick, in fact, just 20 or so seconds. This map might be one of the best maps they could play on potentially against Pittsburgh Knights because they can hit them hard and hit them right in the mouth on that winch fight. So I'm going to look and see, for Abuelos' perspective, how many times they played Harbor when it comes to Pro League. And they played it 1, 2, 3 times. They played it 3 total times. They lost to Hive 3-5, but they beat Coste Papel 5-4, and they also beat Rebel 5-2. So maybe, just maybe, Abuelos is going to be a lot stronger here than I was expecting.
Well, they might be very well a lot stronger than you'd be expecting. But again, the Knights are one of the 2 teams I don't want to see on Harbor. It's them and probably Rise. I just don't like your chances against either of those squadrons on Harbor. This first round will tell me a lot, dependent upon, because Dezo and them have the cog spawn first round, so they have left hand going into the winch. If Abuelos Jesus Nietos rolls through them at that right-hand advantage spawn, it's going to be very, very tough sledding for the side of the Pittsburgh Knights to get a win here. Map number 3. If you roll out of spawn though, and Taylor, you see what it is. Raver's going to get flashed out, and he's going to try to get into this position to try to up A toward that back winch. Chavii, he's stunned, but look at Dezo on a long flank here. He's forcing those players into that winch, and he has a very delayed flash, but I mean, it might be the best flash of the game as it gets all 3 stunned out. They all get killed off, and Fearzly has an easy push into that mid-neutral hill.
Yeah, Fearzly now, or excuse me, for player 8, Addvers, last alive. I mean, really all he can do is just kind of wait and watch while his teammates do come off the respawn, but there's just no chance. You're not getting there. That flank from Dezo, that delayed flash, brother, was so well done and perfect. I really thought we were going to see a great start for Abuelos, and the reason why is I think their stuns were spot on, but Pittsburgh Knights did something that certain teams don't do. Even while stunned, teams still try to ego that fight on winch, and they end up getting chunked. Pittsburgh Knights back away, and they reel in Abuelos and kind of bring them away to allow Dezo to hit that delayed flash and ultimately get the finishes. That was a well-executed initial from PK.
It's kicking time.
I even love how Dezo was able to play through that mid-winch hallway where once he threw the flash, he didn't have to slow down. They really did bring all 3 players onto their side of the map.
All right, Dezo once again trying to make a bit of an impact here. He'll double back and take down 1, and this might go the same way it did just a little bit earlier. 3 players will die. Addvers is also down. I mean, Colin, it's over. I mean, this is another round goal. Well, PK does get on it. I believe there's enough time for Abuelos to get off the respawn and potentially get a touch. It's going to be close. I mean, it is going to be very close. Plus, you have Fearzly, Lancering, Boltox in, and they'll be shut down at the 1-yard line. Both rounds in exactly 38 seconds.
So what is that, a minute and 16 seconds? A minute
That's
and
it.
16 for 2 rounds.
That's it.
No, 1 kill. Chavii has the lone surviving kill there for the side of Abuelos Jesus Nietos. There goes the Retro Lancer by the Pittsburgh Knights. Are you going to put something down, Abuelos? Are you going to try to make this?
You have to. You have to. Like, those 2 rounds were so convincing and so definitive. It's of urgency to change the fight.
Oh, I forgot to do it, Taylor. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh.
Put down a long shot.
There it is. Long shot is down, dude. And you know what? Again, that it was urgent that Abuelos did that. Because that winch fight is just simply not going their way. Pittsburgh Knights, though, are going to commit more. Abuelos places it, but Abuelos is only committing 2 players, technically 1 player for the sniper, and Dezo's going to get away. Monkyz going to be able to get him out of there. Solar, well, not anymore. Solar actually is going to have a beautiful flank, and Abuelos is going to play this a lot better than I foresaw it actually going down. This is a round they're going to win.
Yeah, laid a little trap there for the Knights in the middle of the map. Got it to come through. Raver's going to get that first. And maybe the only touch there is the meat shield. Flash over the top. Dezonide gets stunned outside. Doesn't have a chance to get in. I love the way that Abuelos kind of played that. It was a trap, really. Even though they placed it down, they were allowing themselves the opportunity to Lancer out and get early damage onto different players from the side of the Pittsburgh Knights.
Beautifully done. I love this bait. I really do. I expected the lack of commitment from Abuelos, at least from the, just the typical mid-fight for the sniper to be a deterrence and really not work well for the side of Abuelos. But I mean, when player 5 went to winch and he was able to Lancer down, and then that flank, right? That flank up from either Chavii or Solar to Lancer down Monkyz and Dezo, who were trying to escape with a sniper. That was so beautifully executed. You said they laid the trap. That's exactly what they did. And it worked so incredibly well that they get a much needed round to bring it 2-1. And I mean, best case scenario, we go into the second half tied up 2-2.
Yeah, they slow it down a little bit with that long shot placement, and now that makes the Knights think twice before they push in for that quick pick onto the long shot. The Lancer damage is there. Team revives are trying to come through. They get damage onto that player at the winch, so it forces him out of spot. Now does it with a long shot. Missed the shot over the top on an Addvers. He's going to rotate down toward the B hill. Looking for the angle here as everything slowly solidifies itself in its positioning. Raver picks the retro. Looking across the map here. Won't be able to find that one. Now he's looking again. Looking for another readjustment from anybody in the map. Taking a look here. It looks like, to me, though, Abuelos Jesus Nietos has more utility, so they should have the ability to go for a retake if they get the players into the right spots.
Fearzly trying to inch his way up, but unfortunately he's going to have to back away. Dezo not able to get a connection just yet. It's going to be a good body on Chavii. Maybe there's a chance Fearzly feels confident to push forward, but not just yet. I mean, ultimately, he's still going to be in 1v2, and you got to question, do they know Chaoz has been sitting behind cover for this entire time? He might be the X factor. Pittsburgh Knights making a bit of an adjustment. Dezo getting a different angle onto Addvers, and he'll send one flying. That's not going to happen. You mentioned Abuelos maybe having better setup to go for the neutral or maybe just a retake, and they're going to do exactly that, Colin.
And now what you're going to see them do is continue to push into that situation with the B hill, and now toward the A hill, the home hill. Dezonide has to play defense here against 2 different players, looking for a body shot and then maybe a long range down with the L trigger, and now the B hill is going to be under contestation. Third player coming in on the flank. It's going to be Chavii. He's going to get Lancer damage onto both of these players. Looking for an extra down here. One more player to worry about. That's Monkyz. It's the 1v1 at the A-hill, and now he's able to turn back again. Chavii, he's going back. He's everywhere. He's everywhere on the map.
Yo, what a comeback from Abuelos. Again, they weren't winning the winch fight. Like, that's just bottom line. If they continue to fight the winch fight and build up their shocks and instants, this map is over. Like, there's no way. But because they make the smart adjustment, they place the sniper down, they change the pacing and the way that Pittsburgh Knights fights the initials. I mean, Abuelos is playing this so incredibly well. 2-2. The fact that we're going into the second half, Colin, tied at 2-2, I got to be honest with you, I didn't see it happening. I really genuinely didn't. I counted Abuelos out after the first 2 rounds. I genuinely did, but they're right back in the fight. You got to respect it.
And it was an incredible first 2 rounds for the side of the Knights, and an even better answer, in my opinion, by Abuelos Jesus Nietos to be able to have to strategize around this map. Chavii's going to throw a flash here. It's going to be a 1v1 toward the winch. He's going to get caught up here against Dezonide. They're going to go for the quick pick there at the E-hill. Dezonide gets that kill, and now they're going to try to Lancer out from multiple areas, trying to get downs and damage. Both players are full red, but this is going to be awkward having to fight back up the hill. They're going to need the long shot to do. a lot of their dirty work to try to get back into this fight. You see Solar bouncing around as long as he can, but Dezonide gets the first and the second. Now 2 more players to worry about. One at the home hill. Addvers with a back eight gets damage on. Now looking for Monkyz, continuing to get peppered up from that first half home hill. He's down. He's taken out. No lane open for the E-hill. There might be one last chance here for the side of Abuelos Nietos to get a touch, but I don't believe anybody's in the spot to do so.
I really like the way Pittsburgh Knights played round number 5. They kind of bait out that sniper instead of going for it like they typically did. It wasn't working. They lost 2 rounds in a row. It's almost like, Abuelos Nietos losing the first 2 rounds. They make an adjustment, right? Well, Pittsburgh Knights lose 2 rounds in a row. They said, well, we got to make an adjustment. So they don't hit that sniper as hard as they were doing in rounds 3 and rounds 4, but instead give a little bit of leeway or a little bit of rope to allow Abuelos to say, you know what, let's push for this sniper. Let's do it. And they do so. And most importantly, and this is the most important part, Pittsburgh Knights with Dezo or Raver wins the winch fight. So therefore he can Lancer down on the sniper. A lot went right there for PK, and it was just a beautiful adjustment, but does it give them enough leeway and momentum for them to continue this forward? We'll find out. Raver, has been in just a historic battle against Chavii. He's going to win that. Still unfinished business. Solar's going to roll up, and he's going to take down Raver. Abuelos, they win the neutral.
Now you see Solar going to pick up that quick little ammunition drop on the ground, pick up the E-hill as well. Knights will have to fight back into the situation. Nobody has long shot under control. Nobody has any positioning, really, and it's going to be both teams trying to play defense here in a moment. Well, one team trying to play defense. Dezonide full red here. Shock and Boltok picked up on the side of Abuelos Nietos. Dezonide looking for an extra angle. He's going to go straight down this ramp. 2 players above him and in front of him. Chavii, player number 5, can throw. Oh, he's down. He had the shock in hand, though. Oh, my God. That's a parting gift if I've ever seen one.
Dezo, he's going to go in and roll in. Now get the decap plus full cap and try and recover that 30-point deficit that Abuelos Nietos has given Pittsburgh Knights at the moment. But new snipers should be coming into play, I would assume, relatively soon, right? At this point. So I think it's already down. So at this point with Raver where he's at, great spot to be in. But you got to kind of question Monkyz and Fearzly, Colin. Do they want to rotate up and go for it? And they don't. It seems as if they're going home hill to home hill. Might be the smarter play. Abuelos now, they're kind of going to be in freak out mode. They've just got to attack on one hill, and I don't think they're going to be able to get close. This is a round over.
It could very well be. They're going to get the triple cap domination, 4-2. Knights have had the answer for the last 2 rounds here against Abuelos Nietos. Even with Abuelos getting that E-hill, the overwhelm in the mid-round by the Knights really gives them that decided advantage. It pulls enough players off of their spot to make life miserable and make them make probably one of the worst decisions I've seen in a while, where they just get caught in the middle of the map. It's not that they don't make the correct decision, it's that they just don't really make a solidified decision at all.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I also think as well, Abuelos got too wrapped up and focused in on the sniper fight, right? Sniper was down. They were waiting for PK to make a move on sniper so they could capitalize off it like they did in rounds 3 and 4. But Pittsburgh Knights, they kind of baited that in. They saw Abuelos wasn't making a move, so they said, fine, fair enough. We'll go for the overextension while you're so focused on the sniper. So I think Pittsburgh Knights read that situation incredibly well, and they reacted accordingly. And now that puts them at map point, and could be a strong initial, but now Solar stands his ground and also gets his teammate Chavii back into the fight. Excellently done.
Looking for the next clean kill here. Chavi's going to try to take the up A, but he accidentally rolls right in the face of Monkyz, and that's a mistake you can't make. Meanwhile, the Knights are going to have to come off of respawn and try this yet again. Now we're going to see another rotation by the Knights coming off of respawn. Raver at the mid-winch. They get the kill at E. They're already... Excuse me.
Chaoz they're
trying to get
a little bit of
damage.
They're trying.
They got one. I was gonna say they get the down. I thought they were gonna get the cleanup, but I said it, and then it just. My brain broke, Taylor. I was like, why are you just gonna let that man crawl around like that, though?
Well, Pittsburgh Knights looking like they're on the come up, and they're going to be on all 3 hills. That's 4 down. Monkyz is showing one of the players. I think who was that? I got to give respect to it. So player 2, it was on to player 5, Chavii. I feel for you, man. Hey, look, that's not the first time I've seen PK bully the young guns. And there it is, a 5-2 victory. Pittsburgh Knights will get the victory and ultimately lead 2-1 in the series, excuse me. And that puts them into their best control map which is going to be on Ritual. But I mean, honestly, I got to give a lot of credit, Colin, to Abuelos y sus Nietos. I think they played Harbor very well. They read the situations for what they were. They made some good adjustments. But Pittsburgh Knights are a team that reacted so incredibly well, made the adjustments they needed to, and even to give them credit on Ephyra. Down as they were, they came back because, you know, they're just a team that sees situations, sees something's not working, and they're not scared to make an adjustment.
That's what I was about to say, is the Knights did a really good job. I love the fact that we kind of had a chess match, a little tug of war on that map. The Abuelos y sus Nietos went in and they placed that long shot down early. It forces the Knights to rotate into the middle of the map. They get caught out 2 rounds in a row and don't have a good answer for it. So the Knights said, look, let's slow down, let's fight through the winch, and we'll do it right back to them. We'll bait them into the long shot, get a couple of kills around the map, and then lancer them out. And then with that mid-neutral hill up top, it really gives you a chance to change the momentum of the fights, especially if you push up to the top, and it forces Abuelos to fight through the top side of the map every round.
And Abuelos did show, biggest negatives for me is their inability at times to, you know, pounce on a move and pounce on like, okay, this is what we need to be doing. And you pointed that out, and we pointed that out in round, I want to say round 6 or round 7, where I felt Abuelos just got too zoned in, too focused on the sniper play. And, you know, again, they were expecting Pittsburgh Knights to pounce on that, and they were going to capitalize and then, you know, retake the advantage. But PK said, okay, fine, you're not going to make a move. We're going to go for the domination, which they did. So Pittsburgh Knights clearly more confident on this map. Even with taking stumbles, they weren't scared to initiate a move, initiate a rotation, or initiate a counter play, where Abuelos y sus Nietos was kind of trying to see what PK was all about and then react to that, where PK was like, you know, we're not going to react to you necessarily. We're going to be the first ones to make a move, and they clearly did that multiple times. So Abuelos y sus Nietos, as good as they are, they didn't make the moves they needed to do. But Ritual Control, we talked about it being the stomping grounds of Pittsburgh Knights, Colin. We're heading into Control. What do we expect from Abuelos' perspective, and what mindset do they need to have on map number 4, a map that they might not be as comfortable on?
Their biggest thing that they've got to be worried about is that torque bow. I have seen absolute terror be hoisted upon teams on this map because of the Pittsburgh Knights torque bow play through that altar side of the map. They have done fantastically before, getting 2, 3, 4 kills. I believe it was Raver had a 4-piece and a biscuit last week on this map. I said it was the best play of the day. I was overruled. Fine. I don't care. Well, I only stay butthurt for the rest of my life. It's fine. It's good. I'm fine, baby. I'm just angry about it. I'm just angry about it. It's fine. We'll worry about it some other time. But the Knights are really freaking good at this map.
Yeah, they are, dude. So torque bow, right? Raver doing what he does. But what else is Pittsburgh Knights so good on that makes them golden on Ritual?
So the 2 things that make the Knights really good, I called out the torque bow already. The other thing that makes them incredibly efficient at this map is their early rotations. The fact that they're able to get across the map very quickly. When they get to a hill, they understand the 3 big key components to a hill. The long spawn, forcing your opponent to spawn across the map. The better defensive setup, so which side of the hill are you best served to be on? And third and finally, your numbers advantage through the mid lane. And what I mean by that is they get on the defensive side, they force you to long spawn out, and then if they see more than one player through the mid lane of the map, they're more than happy to take the numbers advantage somewhere else, get kills, and then rotate back to play defense against those couple of players.
And that is so well said, because they did that multiple times, and we both pointed it out on Regency. You know, so they're going to do the exact same thing here. I respect the aggression. I respect that PK pushes into Abuelos y sus Nietos before they can even get set up. Map number 4, ladies and gentlemen, for those who voted for Abuelos, you gave your reasoning, and I think your reasoning was absolutely sound. But for map number 4, we're going to have to see if Abuelos has within them to send it to a map number 5. It's going to be a tall task, a tall order, but it's possible because we have seen them play very well when the pressure is on. But it's not going to be easy, and that's okay. They knew this series wasn't going to be easy in general, but hey, Pittsburgh Knights are in first place for a reason. We'll see if they can hold on to that. But hey, Colin, I'm excited for this one. I really am. Star player, who, if you had to call one right now out of all 8 players, who's it going to be on map number 4?
Raver. There's nobody else that I can go with. Raver was a star player, map number 1. He's extraordinarily proficient at Ritual as well, so he has the highest % chance. I'm kind of taking the safe bet. I'm hedging my bet there. He's probably that guy that's, got the 2-to-1 odds favorite. Everybody's going to put their money on him to be the main player, the main star. If you want me to go with an underdog player, the player that I think is going to do the most with the least amount of face value, I think you're going to see Dezonide be able to play what I call the flank position more often than not. And he's going to be looking for that player in the mid lane. He's going to be looking for that numbers advantage. He not only IGLs, he not only slays out, he gets the power weapons like the long shot on maps like Checkout, but he's so incredibly good at understanding his teammates' position on the map well enough for him to be able to rotate into those spots and get kills.
A little bit of an update also for Side Station. E United faced off against Hive, and E United does get the 3-0 victory over Hive. Looking at the scores, the control wasn't close, 300 to 111, but the execution and definitely the escalation, which went to round 9, was incredibly close. Hive, they definitely have these glimmers where it's like, man, they got it, but they continue to fall short, usually 3-0 or 3-1. But we'll see how they're going to do towards the tail end of the split, which, I mean, we are getting towards the tail end of the split. They got to step it up without question. We're underway, though. Map number 4, and Dezo is on the run. Picking up potentially 2, but he's not going to get it, but his teammates will.
That's the flank angle. That's the understanding of the positioning. That's what I was just talking about. He's going to get a lot of big body shots like that. He might get some kills, or he might just do enough damage for a player like Fearzly to come in and get the finish shot with the 1 or 2 pellets. Raver has the torque bow in hand. That's the most dangerous man on the face of the planet right now with that in his hands. Misses that first shot, doesn't get any splash damage either. He's looking to help out his teammate. His teammate might have gotten the chunk before the bolt went off, so I'm not sure. Misses the second bolt as well. Raver, stop making me eat my words, man. Oh my God, and he got flanked. He had no idea that was happening.
Solo now is going to be in a bit of a tough spot. I mean, he is going to get pincered in, but no worries at all. And Addvers, who's been on the long flank, he'll get dropped, but do enough damage to finish off Fearzly. So at this point in time, Abuelos will catch up a little bit. We'll be focused on hill number 2 relatively shortly. Monkyz, though, isn't done fighting for hill 1.
See what they do here is Monkyz will push toward this close respawn position. Look at the way that Abuelos de sus Nietos is set up, where they got 2 down low. That's the big point of contention. That's the close respawn and the easy way to flank out these 90 degrees into the hill. They need to be able to settle their tea kettle down here. It's a 2v1 inside of the hill. 1 down comes through, but no kills are there, and now they can push out their numbers advantages in 2 different spots around the map. Addvers is going to join the fight up top toward the hill. 3v2 here. Addvers with Lancer outs trying to get damage onto that first one. Nades are in. No kills yet. Fearzly full red, trying to bounce around, trying to stay alive as long as he can. Reaction shots into oblivion for a big 4 or 5 pellet shot, but not enough to get the down to the out. And now another good settling out by Abuelos de sus Nietos.
Yeah, well done indeed. I mean, they're going to fight hard. My only concern is what happens once this gets to the, 6-7 minute mark, right? Because we did see Abuelos de sus Nietos putting up a wonderful fight on Regency until, Pittsburgh Knights just took over and they didn't back away. They didn't slow down from that point forward. But I mean, to Abuelos' credit, though, even this start right now is infinitely better than the start that they had on Regency, which gives me hope that, hey, this might be a great fight from their perspective. And you mentioned getting the torque bow out of the hands of Pittsburgh Knights. Well, Chaoz does that on the second.
Now they're looking for another rotation as they've held onto this entire hill. The Knights need to be careful not to lose their rotation toward the next hill as well, because if they lose that, they're going to find themselves in a pretty big deficit, having to fight back from the bottom. Chaoz hits a big torque bow on a Raver across the map, and now it's a 2v3 over here on this side of the map. They're looking to find 1 kill, at least try to knot things up to make it a 2-2. There's the flashbang over the top. They're not able to find deaths just yet, but there's the first kill in favor of Abuelos de sus Nietos. They are incredible right now. They're firing on all cylinders. They're like a perfectly tuned up V6, baby.
Yeah, looking good, man. Maybe even a V8. 70 points remaining on the hill, 76 to 39, and Abuelos, they refuse to back away, refuse to back down. That torque bow has been truly impactful from Chaoz's perspective, and especially now, he's going to have to rev that up. This PK looks to go ahead and push through 3 strong. Never an easy task, but something that you just have to get through. Fearzly is going to be marked. He is going to be connected on. That's 1 out of the way. You still got 2 more players, Monkyz and Raver. Chaoz will be able to roll up, potentially get a finish here. He will. Monkyz now last alive in a flawless hold. A absolute flawless hold from Abuelos y sus Nietos until Dezo rolled around, but they only take a short little hiccup.
Yeah, short little hiccup indeed. Fearzly double bounce in for that second shot. If he gets one more, he gets the trade. Beautiful job by Fearzly staying alive, allowing his teammates to help him out in that situation. Getting those final kills. What an incredible job. Fearzly will get into that hill for a few more moments. It'll be probably about 108 to 60 or 70 before he rotates off of that hill into P4, which is this top middle. Flashbang goes out. Dezonide gets a big kill. Tries to knot it up over here. Tries to even it out. They're going to let him bleed for just a moment, but it looks like we're going to have a team fight here over a respawning Torpo. That's a very important fight for both teams. They need to be able to control that power weapon.
And without question, and that's been a main focal point even since the very beginning, but Fearzly might have just solidified it, depending on how this works. Chaoz came on a bit of a flank, takes Fearzly down, and when I said solidify, not at all, brother. That's going to be another torque going to the way of Abuelos y sus Nietos as they're firing all cylinders. This hill, they're willing to give Pittsburgh Knights some real estate with the idea that they can retake this hill, and the torque bow was justified to be fought for. So they'll roll their way in. Solo will keep the hill contested for just a little bit. Fearzly's going to drop, but if he didn't, Chavii would have connected onto him without question. So we'll go ahead and send it onto the corner. Some splash damage maybe, but only one bolt remaining, and Pittsburgh Knights are refusing to back down. Monkyz tried to flank, but no dice. But either way, for PK, well in control of this hill as Abuelos y sus Nietos waiting for 3 members to respawn.
Looking to try to get back into this one. Still got a long way to go, about 20 points here, and that's 20 full seconds for them to be able to push back into this fight. We're going to see multiple players get angled out here. There's the marks. 3 players are going to push in. Flashes out. Raver has to roll off of his spot. He gets saved there from the extra shot by Monkyz. Beautiful job there. Rolls back. Beautiful second shot for the big body in the down. They continue to help one another out. The team fights going in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights right now, and that team fire has been absolutely crucial for them. It comes through, and it's true for them yet again. This is what started to really put Abuelos y sus Nietos away in map 1.
Don't play as individuals. Chavii, he's not really playing as an individual. He was trying to assist Chaoz, but unfortunately didn't. And Dezo is going to make sure, even though Chavii was going to get away there, he wasn't going to get away unscathed. So he's going to have 2 more down and outs. And it looks like Dezo is very well aware that player 3 was trying to flank around. That's going to be Chaoz, so he'll try to keep him in check. Meanwhile, the transition for the next hill is not going well for Abuelos at all. 2 more players will fall. Dezo hits the shots needed, and Chavii is back for round 2 against Dezo, who is very much aware and ready for that, and he's going to get the drop.
Now you see the body shots by Dezo just getting the finish on that kill, and that's going to come through. Fearzly will pick up that new torque. Won't be able to hit that first player. That could have been a huge pick, but all it's really doing is allowing him to continue the onslaught, because 50 seconds left on this hill. You're looking at that 180 marker if they were to bleed it all the way out, but you're definitely going to see the 150, 160 area if they hold on to this definitively. One last bolt by Fearzly, continuing to just add damage into the situation, but no kills coming through. Raver's going to get chased down on the opposite side of the match, and that's a huge missed shot by Monkyz. He's making up for it. Dezo's making up for it right now. 2, 3.
Yo.
That is absolutely massive by my main man, Dezonide.
And now I'm really getting flashbacks from Regency, Colin. Again, we've reached this point where it was super competitive off the rip, but then Abuelos y sus Nietos on Regency started to taper off. And it was because Pittsburgh Knights, you mentioned the teamwork, and we are seeing that without question. But then we also saw pop-off plays from Raver on Regency. And now we're seeing pop-off plays from Dezo. And those 3 pieces, right? Those team wipe eliminations, I mean, they affect you tremendously because stamina is a real thing. And you don't get a chance to reset when it's control.
It's very much one of those situations where you're like, man, I really don't want to have to go back to that same fight, knowing that we just died in that last engagement to 1 player, which is what has happened. There's that 160 to 117, 118, now getting up to that 120. They're already in this next hill. Abuelos y sus Nietos has to play pretty good defense here. They've done it twice already on 2 different hills. Are they going to be able to continue to repeat that success in this point? The final hill before the reset of the hills. See them in the position here. Flash grenades coming out. You see the Knights trying to push through the middle of the map. Beautiful Lancer fire. One down is in. Raver trying to go for more. He turns, tries to get a secondary burn. Solar misses. That's a huge shot to miss. That's a big shot to miss, and it makes it into a 1v1. Dezonide tries to bait the back A, but ends up going for an up A of his own. Chavii shuts him down. What an incredible little team fight there to be won by Abuelos Nietos and gets them right back into this match.
Yeah, I mean, what an impactful team fight that was to win anyways. And Chavii hitting that last shot was huge because Pittsburgh Knights were starting to run away. Like, you could definitely tell the momentum 100% went to their side. But Abuelos winning that fight now puts them neck and neck once again with PK, which I thought was, ultimately going to run away with it. But either way, 9 points behind is Abuelos. And one by one, Pittsburgh Knights start to push them out. And Chaoz is being very patient, waiting to pounce on the attack, but, well, the surprise is going to be out of the woodwork. Monkyz, nice shot onto Chavii. One more, I do believe, in his inventory, but no time to waste. He's going to try and close the gap onto Addvers, and then he'll back away ultimately and fight for the next door. Back at P1, where we started, and the scoreline is much closer than I expected it to be.
Very close indeed, but all shout-outs, all love going over to Abuelos Nietos for the fact that they've kept it this close. There's going to be a bunch of flashbangs coming out here momentarily. Chaoz has to roll to the backside of the altar. Here comes the secondary fight. I love that angle by Abuelos Nietos toward the backside of this hill. They're getting that 45, able to add that damage, and now they're just creeping around the altar. The more damage they put in, they continue to hold that angle. They're able to get shots on and pellets. They get the initial on the hill, and they're going to be the first ones to probably reach 200 with this next rotation.
Might be able to, absolutely. Pittsburgh Knights, they're going to take one more attempt. 50 seconds is too long. Rotating too early, it might not even guarantee a benefit. So Abuelos, they'll retake the point lead once again. Probably the third time we've seen them retake the point lead over Pittsburgh Knights here on Ritual Control. But BK, they're setting up to collapse in onto Abuelos Nietos. You've got Dezo and Monkyz on one end. On the other end, you got Raver and Fearzly. First one to drop from Abuelos is going to be Addvers. He's finished up. Now Solar, he's feeling the pressure. He's going to back away so he can get picked back up in Chaoz's perspective. But PK, they have real estate on the current hill, and it's effectively now Pittsburgh Knights' current hill. They take it, and more importantly, they take it over in the proper amount of time to get Monkyz the fresh torch bow. This is a critical point in this map number 4 now, where we're going to be tied at 200-200.
I was going to say, I'd love to see them hold on to it for the actual tie, but they're going to leave early. Addvers, big flank there, gets the kill onto Monkyz. That'll shut down that torque bow, so no torque bow to come into the next position. Fearzly's going to get angled out by multiple players. They still can't get a kill on Addvers. Addvers just playing his life down here, keeping everybody's attention. There's going to be a down. They're going to try to throw a flashbang to get the stun. Chaoz is full red. He's got to keep his head down here, not going down. That's going to be a smoke. Chaoz and Solar here. There's the quick revive. They're going to get that revive off. Chaoz goes down again. Back game misses. Back game misses. That could be costly.
Woo. Monkyz picking up a couple, and that's going to be 3 down on the side of Abuelos. Addvers tries everything in his power to drop Monkyz, but he's not going to find success. And now Pittsburgh Knights are in control of the hill at a very critical point in time. Granted, do you have the torque bow? Not anymore, but you have real estate. Abuelos pushing as aggressively as they possibly can. That's a great drop onto Fearzly. Can he get back up? He's currently in no man's land. Monkyz, though, he'll take the risk to get him back in the fight. But Fearzly will drop once again. Chavii also down. Raver looking to collapse in. He doesn't hit the much-needed shot to get the finish on the Chavii. So he has to double back for round 2, and Chaoz will eliminate him. Colin, Abuelos once again in control of the hill, and once again recovering the point lead.
Looking to try to get into this next hill early. You see Chavii starting to rotate over. He's going to have one player in front of him. Little L trigger gets some red dead damage, but not enough to go down. He's going to throw the flash. He's going to get down here. 2 players are in the area for the revive. Lancer damage and snubs are out. 232 to 220 in favor of Abuelos Nietos. 12-point differential. Flashes are coming in. You can see them pushing forward. The Pittsburgh Knights on the swarm side, pushing across the backside of the altar. Solar's trying to answer with as much as he can, but he hasn't been able to get a kill just yet. 2 in, 2 out. They get the new torque. They're going to get the new hill as well. 1 second left. This shot's coming. There we go. There's a body shot. I was going to say, I thought he would have hit at least some pellets there. Dezo with a new torque bow. Monkyz here fighting over those frag grenades. Ooh, hits the wrap, and now he's going to have Chavii to worry about. Can he get away safe enough with those torques? Oh, missed torque by Dezo.
Yeah.
Oh my
2
goodness.
missed torques by Dezo. He's got to hold it down. He really does. This last one could I don't know if that was worth it, to be honest with you, but he's going to commit for it. That's fair enough. He's at least going to clean up one guaranteed. He'll have one more remaining. He'll send it flying, and definitely some missed opportunities from Dezo's perspective with the torque bow. So now it's going to be all up to his basic weapons. Either way, for Pittsburgh Knights, they're going to be at 260 to 232. Nice nade's going to be thrown out. Addvers has no choice but to push forward straight into a couple of players. Hits a great shot into Fearzly, but it's not going to put him to the grave. Pittsburgh Knights in control of the hill with 27 seconds remaining.
Now we see Solar just looking straight forward. All they can do is kind of watch this time tick down. They're going to have to win the next hill pretty succinctly. They're going to have to be able to hold on to it as well and not give away any positioning on this next hill, because you can see one player's already there. Monkyz trying to fight a 3v1. If they can get a kill here on the Solar, that might even things up, and they will indeed get that down. Now it's going to be a 3v3 over the hill. Looking forward, Dezo's going to go on the flank here. He's going to go looking for this next angle. They're going to challenge up a 1v1 over there. Dezo's going to get challenged as well. It's 3 separate 1v1s around the map, as a matter of fact.
It is, and these 1v1s are going to be pretty important, obviously, for both rosters. Huge kill from Raver. He's starting to pop off again in a big trade. That's going to be a much-needed trade. Pittsburgh Knights are happy with that. And at this point, for Abuelos y sus Nietos, they are on their last leg. They have to get the break. They have no choice. Solar will push in, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to die off. Addvers hits a great shot, but he's got to get the finishes here. I love the angle. I love the shots. They're connecting. There's hope yet. 291 and 232. Hill currently stalemated. Chavii pushes in as well. Monkyz will fall. Fearzly last alive. Colin, Abuelos, they are successful.
Successful for one more retake here. Let's take a look at the standing, as they are going to be at 290 to 291. If they to bleed this hill dry, the Knights need to play through the bottom side of the map. I'd like to see Dezonide get all the way into that next point, start to set up, start to Lancer out back against the grain. Torque bow comes flying out, misses that one. 2 players, now 3, pushing up toward the middle of the map. Continuing to hold on to this spot. Here comes the flash grenades, trying to get the stuns. Another bolt comes out. I like the fact that the Knights are trying to bait out some torque bows from the side of Abuelos y sus. They get the neutralization. There's a splash damage torque, but Chaoz's nade kills Solar! And they're in the hill! Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it might be over with. I mean, are you going to be able to get a touch? No, you will not. 300 to 264 is where map number 4 will end. And Pittsburgh Knights, much like KCP earlier, will get a 3-1 victory over their opponent, in this case, Abuelos y sus Nietos. Incredible performance from Pittsburgh Knights. It was nice to see all 4 finally competing together. And what a performance they put on, Colin.
Incredible performance, really. I mean, fighting back in 2 different situations, giving up 2 rounds back-to-back in that escalation on Harbor, only to figure out how to fight back against the grain, solidify that map 3, and then, of course, they go down by a decent amount, really, in this map 4 on Ritual, a map that we really think that they're pretty proficient at, only to fight back against them yet again. Those are the more impressive things to me. They handle business 3-1. It probably could have been better at 3-0 if they could have won that Ephyra, but that's for a different day. That's a different story. Happy to see, though, that they have the ability to kind of resettle their tea kettle, focus in on the fight that's in front of them. That's the thing I usually give Rise props for. Rise is able to roll back, figure out the fight in front of them, and then retake control. The Knights did it twice tonight on 2 different maps. Beautiful job.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights did a hell of a job adjusting. I mean, they did it on Harbor, so beautifully done. Regency, they just dominated that. And even Ephyra losing that in round 11, like, I mean, they still came back. Like, that was huge from their perspective. And you got to respect PK, their ability to adjust. You mentioned Rise. I think that's well said. You can also say Team Queso. You know, they've got the composure, too. I think the beautiful thing, to me personally, the most impactful thing from all teams' perspective, outside of a couple, in Split 3 is the composure of the rosters, their ability to adjust, their ability to fight back. And I love that. I really do. And it makes it so much more competitive when, you know, your bottom 5 teams, your bottom 4 teams compete against the top, 5 teams, the top 3 teams. Because you never know if they can come back. There's always an inkling of hope. Maybe not on every map, but on certain maps, on certain game modes, there really is that chance. But for Abuelos, hell of a series. It makes me excited for the major, Colin, because, I mean, we have so many teams that can truly be bracket buster teams, or, maybe even call them dark horse teams, and this performance shows it from my perspective, even though Abuelos loses 3-1.
I almost want to give them a new nickname. We've been going with dark horses. We've been going with bracket busters. I look at teams like Team Queso, Abuelos y sus Nietos. I look at teams like Casa de Papel, Fury 1. they can upset the balanced order. What we have seen time and time again, those same top 4 teams, those same names at the top of the bracket becomes that natural order. They're the apex predators. Well, now you've got guys on the block that are looking to try to take and claim the throne for themselves. Abuelos Jesus Nietos prove that they have the moxie to go at it with some of the best in the world, like the Pittsburgh Knights. They just need to figure out a way to finish those maps off when they start getting those leads.
Yeah, and honestly, a very well-rounded team. You know, Escalation wasn't bad. Good adjustments. Control, not bad, aside from Regency, but I mean, like, I don't know. Raver he went on a 7-kill streak. I mean, he stayed alive for like 2 minutes. It was disgusting. But I mean, it's not like Abuelos played it bad. They kept it competitive until the superhuman efforts of Raver, the superhuman efforts from Dezo started to come into play from, not only on Regency, but also on Ritual. So Abuelos, a very well-rounded team.
Yeah, without a doubt, incredibly rounded team, being able to take the Pittsburgh Knights to task in a couple of rounds there on the Escalation. And again, taking the lead on Ritual, which is a map they're normally very strong on. They're incredibly strong on. So 2 really good matches thus far tonight. The only one that really hasn't lived up to a good puncher's chance for their opponent was that off-broadcast Hive versus E United match. But we saw a map 5 between Rebel and Casa de Papel. We got to see the Pioneers drop a map. We got to see the Knights drop a map. So, I mean, pretty good games all around thus far tonight, but we ain't done yet. I mean, you know better than anybody, Taylor, that there's 1 more to go.
And it's going to be a good one, baby. We have Rise versus Fury 1. Fury 1 beating Rebel last week. That put them on our radar. But how are they going to fare off against Rise? We're going to find out after the break.